Wonderful to have both of you here today. We'll give our first question to Kathy. Kathy, how we kind of talked about this, but I wonder if you want to add anything here. How is the federal government's response to unemployment benefits impacting recruitment? You mentioned waiting till we talked about September, but if is there anything else you want to add there? Because I hear a lot about this right now about people that just can't get top people right now, and I wonder what your thoughts are.
Well, I think the unemployment is a different issue versus top people, because top people to me mean more the middle management and executives versus the regular workers, right? You have different people in the offices that do different things. And where this unemployment compensation is coming up to be challenging is on the lower level. So if you're making $15 to $20 an hour, maybe as much as 22, then you're going to have a problem with going back to work because it's not going to equate to babysitting and all the other costs that you have to go back. And if they get paid double for not working, then it's illogical to expect them to be excited to sign up and go, unless they talk to a recruiter like us that says, oh, no, you want to get the job before everybody else, let's get this going, kind of thing. But I did want to say that on the government thing, they are trying to do what they think is best because people are really struggling because they don't have any funds. So you're kind of in this catch-22 situation where do you not give them money and hope they all get jobs, or do you just kind of buffer it for a little bit so that in September, when things will probably be back a lot better, then they can find their own jobs and do it in the normal way. So I get where they're coming from. The unfortunate thing is that it's giving us this ricochet effect, so that I get probably 3 calls a week from people that I've never met before. They're just calling me because of my advertising online, and they're asking me to help them fill these jobs. And they're 15, 16, 17, 18. And it's extremely difficult to do that because of that. Even when it comes back, I think, where we live and the way to be able to survive here in California, there has to be a different wage. But when you raise the wages, it puts a lot of people out of business because they can't pay, so we have all these challenges. But I will say that the best thing about this whole process is that, like Laura was saying, the employers that I'm working with are becoming more and more a partnership with their employees, and they're opening their horizons where they are letting them work remote. Our company sees about 75% people going to work remote at some portion. It's a hybrid, 100%, whatever it is. And they're saying that they won't change that until next year even. So I think it's here to stay. And I think people are going to pick and choose the jobs they want to do, if they want to do remote versus the other jobs. But the water cooler content that Flora was talking about, which is so important that you just can't recreate, my company's done that. And it hasn't been me, it's been my 2 directors. And I cannot wait for Friday. And let me tell you why. It's Friday Fun Day at Dawson and Dawson. What does that mean? It depends. You wake up on Friday morning and you have an email in that says whatever it is, and you got to do whatever it is. So it goes from what's been your best travel trip you've ever had, or what's on your playlist, or what if you were a dog, what would you want to be? What kind, or something like this. Really interesting, fun things. And they have a whole calendar put together of these questions, and they put them out, and then we all get to know each other remotely. I've hired 5 people without ever meeting them in person during this time. And I thought it was going to be weird, but it really isn't. Now, one was shorter and one was taller than I thought, but that was the only difference. And this Friday Fun Day and this whole culture thing that Laura's speaking about, I cannot recommend for our listeners to do that more, because that is the single thing that's going to keep them there. We can do a good job of making sure you select the right person, but when they're there, they have to be onboarded in such a way and nurtured in such a way. I always say, when you're interacting with anybody, but specifically your employees, always put a deposit in their bank account. Do not make a withdrawal. If you make a certain amount of withdrawals from your employees, they're going to be gone. They're going to go to another bank. So deposit, deposit, deposit. That's what I'd like to say about that.